Welcome guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Kev from KRT Electrical Services and this is my Milwaukee Packout Loadout video. So without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome back guys, hope you're all well. As I say, welcome to the channel. This video is something different to what I'm used to doing, so this is more of a loadout video rather than a video on how jobs and work and stuff like that. So if you're not really interested in pack-out system and how someone loads out their work and how it works for them, why they've done it, then this is probably not the video for you. Stay tuned because I'm going to be walking you through all of this, all my organisers, all my drawers, all my other boxes and stuff like that, to show you how I've done it, why I've done it and how it works for me. And I'm going to be doing that with the use of a tripod, which you're currently on, and a head mount. So yeah, so we can get quite intimate with what's going on and stuff like that. So yeah, stay tuned and let's get on with it. So firstly, this has been recorded in my garage, so I apologise for the maybe the lighting conditions are not great or whatever. I'm trying to make the sound a bit better because I've got the Rode mic, so hopefully it sounds a bit better for you and that improves the quality of the videos. But yeah, I'm recording it in my garage. I didn't really want to do it outside because it's quite cold. It's a Sunday in January, so yeah, it's quite cold. But so yeah, I do apologise. Literally, we're in my garage and that's the best it's going to be. I'm going to do another video on this loadout and how I've loaded it out in my van and how it works for me, just to give people a demonstration of what I'm going to talk about here, about, you know, taking stuff off the van for security reasons, etc, etc. So let me spin you around and we'll show you what we've got first of all before we start going into it. So first of all, I've got one of the Milwaukee, I forget what they call these, but basically essentially it's just a box, and I use that for cable. I've got several different organisers, both big, small and then the slim ones, and these live in part of the van in some racking, etc. Another one there for PPE, first aid kit. A couple of the bigger, tougher organisers or boxes, big boxes, which have come with a couple of different trays inside them, which I am using in a couple, or one of them, but not in the other. And then I've got the drawer system. So you on Milwaukee Packout, you get the 2-drawer system or you get the 3-drawer system. Obviously the 3-drawer system, being the same height, means the drawers are slightly shallower than the bigger ones, than the 2-drawer system. But obviously you get what you want, and you use it accordingly. So we've got one big drawer, we've got one small drawer, and then we've got another small drawer as well. Obviously you see these metal bars here, which are the travel bars. On this one I've got it up, but they come off nicely and go like that for storage, if you're actually using them. Obviously I don't need to go through the Milwaukee Packout system, because if you're watching this video you're probably interested in it and you know the advantages of having it and stuff like that. So, and then finally we've got the trolley, which is on the wheels. Obviously this one I've got the dot on a dolly. So I've got the trolley, which is a big box system, which is full of other stuff. It says cable, but that's wrong because I've changed it since then. So yeah, we've got various different bits and pieces in there, which I'll run through shortly. And then finally on top, we've got a big tote with a nice big handle, which has got my power tools in it. So that is the setup I've got. To be honest, I have got a couple of spare slim organisers, but I haven't really loaded them out of anything yet, so they're spares. But yeah, that's the system I've got. And as I say, this lot goes in some racking with this, and the rest of it stacks in my van. But as I say, that will be a separate video on how I load it out in my van and why I've got it like that, etc, etc. So, but for today we're just running through how I've got it loaded out and how it works for me and stuff like that. So let's spin you around, put you on the old head mount, and we'll run through some of these trays, shall we? Right, I hope you're all well up there. As you can see, you're on my head, so these are my hands. So this is how I intended to go through all the Milwaukee Packout, so you get a good view of what I've got. So first of all, we'll start with the Milwaukee Packout crate. That's, remember, it's called the crate. So it's the standard Milwaukee Packout crate. It's got the locking system, so it means that it can lock onto the existing any of these boxes, organisers, etc, etc. But essentially all it is a crate with nice handles, and all I use it for is purely storing cable. So I've got one reel of 2.5mm twin and earth, some 3 core and earth, 1mm, 1.5mm, and then some 1mm and 1.5mm twin and earth, and then a single reel of 1.5mm singles earthing, and that's for earthing, bonding my back boxes. So yeah, that is all I use the crate for. It's purely just for carrying cable. I can carry it nice and easy into a job. I've got all the cable I need. Obviously if I need to use some 6mm or 4mm or 10mm, then obviously I'll put that drum of cable in the van, in addition to what I've got here. But these are your most common cables that you normally use, so that's what I thought I'd use a Packout crate for. So yeah, just a standard crate, works quite nicely, nice and robust. So yeah, that's what we've got that for. So traditionally I'm you know, all my tools pretty much are DeWalt, but I've been eyeing up this Milwaukee Packout for some time now, and the reason for it is it's just as you can see, I've got the Stanley FatMax organisers just there, which are waiting to go out for sale. But the reason I like this so much is that it's so easy to clip, you know, on and off together, or you know, to attach together or to unclip, and so literally you just do that. And there's none of these clips at the side which cause it to, you know, you have to move stuff around. You literally just need access to the front of it, and then you can just unclip it like that. So yeah, that's part of the reason that I sort of went for the Milwaukee Packout. It's just the ease of loading, unloading, and the sheer volume of different accessories, organisers, drawers you can get. I think it can't be beaten. So so yeah, what we'll do is we'll go through these lots of organisers here. As I say, if you're not really interested in it, then maybe fast forward or whatever, but I'm going to be going through these in some sort of, you know, detail, which might be a bit boring, but as I say, this is a video about my loadout. So what we'll do is we'll start off with this one. As you've noticed with everything, I've labelled everything, so batteries, test equipment, ferrules, cables, fixings, absolutely everything's labelled. So I like to be organised with my van. My van's always pretty tidy other than a Friday afternoon, and so I like to be quite organised. So yeah, the same goes with all my organisers. So this is one of the organisers. It's one of the deep ones, but it's a single. I can't remember the exact names. What I'll do is I'll put all the links in the description down below so you can find them, etc. I bought all this recently from ITS. ITS have a January sale one, and this is not a sponsored video at all, but ITS have a January sale one, and I got quite a decent discount off of this lot overall. I mean, it's quite expensive, everything that I've bought, but hopefully this is now going to last me for, well, maybe until I die. I don't know, but it's pretty robust stuff, so it should last pretty well. But anyway, let's get into this one. Cable ties, pretty self-explanatory really. It's just an organiser with cable ties. All my little different coloured ones which I use inside boards, small black ones, yellow ones which I use in areas that are hidden, and obviously down below we've got metal cable ties which are for catenary lines and stuff like that. So not much to sort of talk about with that one really, just an organiser with cable ties. So what we'll do is as we go through them, we'll put them down here and out the way. Right, so you're now off my head again, so I thought I'd chop and change it around a bit really, so you're not always up there and get a really dodgy view, or just might not want to be on my head. So yeah, I thought you put you back on the stick. But yeah, so next one in line is pretty self-explanatory really. Probably not going to go through this one because it's dry. It just says dry lining boxes. I run out of some of my other boxes which I've got in my van, which I'll show you during my van tour when I do another video. Because I did a van tour video probably over a year ago, but it's changed since then, so I thought I'd do another van tour. But I'll show you my other boxes, but essentially I've run out of those and space to store them, so I bought a Packout and I've just got dry lining boxes in it. Nothing exciting. Yeah, so dry lining boxes, and just going back to how easy these things are. So obviously I'm holding you in it on a tripod, and then literally I can push that up and pull it off, and that is how easy they are. When it comes to clicking them back together, on. So yeah, that is why I like the Milwaukee system so much. It's just so easy and everything's so interchangeable. Yeah, so right, to here we've got ferrules. So we'll take that off, move it out of the way. And again, pretty self-explanatory this one, but this is one of the slim organisers, which I've noticed over here. So this is a Packout compact site organiser. The other one was the Packout compact organiser. So yeah, so Packout compact, which is slightly deeper, and then Packout compact site organiser, which is the slimline one. So yeah, this is just ferrules. So again, got my little ferruling chart, got my ferrule one. It's not an Ipex one, it's a cheapie, but it does me, and then all my different ferrules, which is pretty boring really. So we've got that one, and then this one, those together, is just cable clips, as you can see. So again, nothing exciting, but just a number of different cable clips. Metal ones for 2.5, smaller ones for 1mm, 1.5, 2.5, what are they, 4 to 6mm, 10mm. So yeah, nothing exciting in those ones, but yeah, these just clip onto one of the bigger organisers and go in my racking. So put that down and put those down there. Right, so moving on to one of the big organisers, and as you can see, this one says fixings and connectors. I've actually got two fixings trays, organisers, and that's for all different things, which obviously I'll show you. But these are basically the double width for the compact organiser, same clipping system, same lids, same locking system on the lids, 5-6 point locking. But yeah, in this one over here, got all different size screws, washers, red plugs, all round band, smaller screws, some fuses, some bits for obviously different types of screw heads, 6mm 5.5 drill bits, and then some impact bits. And then over here got a couple of grommets just in case I haven't got the other organiser out, and then some IP rated washers with, you know, the rubber seals, and then just some other washers underneath as well, which are in there somewhere. There we go, some other washers, and then some nails if you need to nail anything, and then various different Wagos, ideal connectors, some old chop blocks, because believe it or not, sometimes I still use those, and some inline ideals, inline Wagos and stuff like that. So that's one fixing box. This is sort of mainly a first fixing box really, just for screws and plugs. Put that down, and then we'll lock that one up, pull that one off, and then put him down there. And then what we'll do, actually, I'll swap these two around, because this is my second fixing box. So I'll show you this. I'll show you that one first. Just put him down there, and then put that one there. So second fixing box, wall fixings, grommets, terminal screws and stuff like that. So yeah, this one, as you can see, grommets, loads of different washers, penny washers, and then just different wall fixings. So plasterboard wall fixings, more plasterboard wall fixings. Oh, where's he gone? He's gone. And then some, I think these are Corex, which are sort of dot and dab walls. Obviously they go in there, long screws. So yeah, terminal screws, always save the terminal screws, and then long terminal screws again, so the ones you can cut down. Some more wall fixings, and then some, these are if the points to screw into sockets have gone, you can secure these into a back box. Saves you having to dig the back box out of the wall. So yeah, that's my second fixing box. Yeah, it's not really, pretty self-explanatory really, to be perfectly honest with you. Let's put him down there and clip him on. Well, this attachment you're actually on is a Tellison neck attachment, so you're now on my neck rather than my head, because I noticed it was moving around a bit because it's not designed to be on the head. So yeah, so I've just putting you on my head, on my neck, so hopefully the video is a bit better. But the next organiser is glands and earthing. So let's get into this one. Oh, so as you can see, we've got normal 20mm stuffers in white, in black, grey. Got some white ones I think in there, but we haven't got many left. And then we've got 25mm I think, and these are 25s. Might be 30s actually, I think they're 25s. And then we've got all our towels, glands, all different size towels, glands for boards and stuff like that. And then when we come over here, we've got some new METs, some earth blocks, we've got some knuckle dusters and some piranha nuts for SWA and stuff like that. Crimping lugs for bonding connections onto bonding clamps. Earth rod lugs, got a couple of those. And a little earthing safety connection cover box thing. And then the little screws, which screws and nuts, if I can get them, which are for like bonding and stuff like that. So yeah, I've got them, and then some different earthing clamps. So yeah, as you can see, this is basically a gland, as it is labelled, gland and earthing tray. So yeah, let's put that down there like that. And then last one, this is not an organiser, this is just one of the Milwaukee Packout trays in which most of their tools come in these days. And this is just my M12 set, which again goes into some racking I've got. As I said at the start of the video, traditionally I don't have Milwaukee tools, but I saw this Packout set, or this M12 set, so it's got a little combi, a little impact, a small SDS, and the cut-off tool. And this is what I wanted the most, really, the cut-off tool, because it's absolutely, when you need it, you need it. So yeah, so I bought this little set quite a while ago now, and I quite like the old M12 set because it's small, compact, fairly powerful, but yeah, it's small and compact. So I've got some little Bosch cutting discs in there, which are for the cut-off tool. So so yeah, that's a good little set, that is. I really like that, and I use that quite a lot. So yeah, so that goes into some racking within the van, and but yeah, locks onto all of these other things if you want it to, which is brilliant. So right, let's get that off and get into this other stuff. Right, let's bring you over here. I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory, this one, by the Cross. It's first aid kit. I've not opened it yet because obviously I've not touched wood, injured myself and needed to, but that's a pretty self-explanatory Milwaukee first aid kit, which is in a little pack-out tray. So yeah, I won't go through that one because you can see what's on that online. And then this is the final compact organiser I've got, and as you can see, it's PPE. I used to carry so much PPE on my van, I didn't realise until I got this Milwaukee Packout and had a good sort out how much stuff I was carrying on my van, and I didn't actually really need to, because predominantly I work on my own a lot of the time and I only need one set of everything really, or a couple of sets at the very most. So all I've got in here is, you know, some gloves, some fingerless gloves that I've cut off, some more gloves, ear defenders, Trent mask with new filters, as you can see, and a pair of safety glasses, another pair of safety glasses there. So I was carrying so much PPE that I just didn't need it, but so I've cut down a lot of weight in the van, but I just thought I'd put all the PPE stuff in a little pack out so I can just carry it into a job like that, and yeah, I've got it all with me. So here we go, that's that one. So yeah, so far we've been through all these organisers, all these little site organisers, and the tray here, but now we'll get into these over here. Right, so you're back on the little tripod again now. I thought I'd change the view up just to keep it a little bit interesting. But yeah, as I say, we'll now get into all these drawers and these two crates on top and these bits over here. So firstly, pretty self-explanatory, pretty unexciting really, but I have loads and loads of batteries, and I used to find that they got littered all over the van, and I never had any charged batteries when I wanted to have charged batteries, so I decided to buy, I think this actually came with this set, so that and then this came together. So I decided to utilise one of them as a battery box, just so they all stay together, and then I can charge them when I'm on a job or whatever. So this one's quite heavy, but it's, you know, it is what it is. So yeah, as you can see, I've got all my DeWalt batteries in here, all my M12 batteries, and a couple of M18, because I've got a one of the whole hogs, Milwaukee whole hog. I think what I'll probably do when all my DeWalt tools start going up the spout, I'll basically start replacing them with Milwaukee tools, because I quite like it. Yeah, so, and to be fair, a lot of these things, you know, people go on about Milwaukee, DeWalt, Makita, whatever. A lot of these things are normally made in the same factory, so, or of the same specification, so yeah, I don't think it really matters. But yeah, so that's just a battery box really, that's what I keep it all in. I've got a separate little box which I've got chargers in, so obviously, yeah, because, I mean, that was charged, but I bet there's a few in here that aren't. Yeah, like that one. So yeah, so that's a battery box, pretty self-explanatory. Bloody heavy this one, so let's see if we can lift it one-handed. Yes, we can, and that is how easy the pack-out system is. So we'll put it down there and move on to the test equipment. Now, I used to use a CK Magma testing bag, and to be honest, I used that for a few years. Never had any problems with it, but there's not much room in it. You get your tester in it, you get a few leads in it, but you can't really do much else. So, but I got this idea of making one of these tester boxes from Mike at Residual Current, because I watched a few of his videos and I noticed he had a pack out with all this testing equipment in it. So yeah. Right, so yeah, this one's got the little protective bars which some of the others haven't got. I mean, this one has, but these organisers don't have the protective bars. But I thought this was a good idea to utilise this one for the test equipment, because obviously if it gets bashed around, obviously we've got a tester inside. So yeah, so here we go. Got my Mega in there, various different bits. Got a volt tester which I'm not going to get out, clamp meter, and the USB tester, and my Wanda lead. And then in these little sections at the side, which are really good, I've got the little lighting adapters, Q-Tech lighting adapters, and then socket tester, various different socket testers. Look at that old school Martindale, quality of that. And yeah, so I find this works quite well, and we've got plenty of room really. This one here, got my test leads, cowl cards, little crop clips for, you know, doing your R1, R2s or crossovers for your ring circuits. And then in this little tray here, which I can open, I've got my my crop clips and my probes and stuff like that. So keeps them all nice and safe. They're not going to get damaged. And again, as I say, with this box with the protective corners, if it gets knocked, dropped or anything like that, all of this inside is pretty safe. So that's my, can't close it down now. That goes like that, that's it. That's my testing box. So yeah, as I say, Mike from Residual Current gave me this idea, because I've noticed on some of his videos he carries this around, and this is perfect. So what I'm going to also do is put some sheets of paper in there, pen, pencil, and probably guidance note 3 or something like that, because that's all part of my testing and stuff like that. So yeah, but that is the testing box. There we go. Right, now moving over to these bits. So I'm going to pull these crates over behind so we can just sit down and go through these. So this is the 3-drawer one, as you can see, first of all, and they're a bit slimmer than the 2-drawer, but we'll start from the bottom. Dog hair. Start from the bottom and go to the top. And yeah, so right, cable pulls and ferrets. I bought this dolly as well because, again, when I do my van video I'll show you how I store it in the van, but this is so useful for moving around. Let's get the brakes off. So yeah, you can just move it around, which is, oh, something fell over, which is perfect. So then you just put the brakes back on, and there you are. Right, so the first tray is cable pulls and ferret. So as you can see from that, we've got all different sorts of cable pulls. We've got a couple of cable tongs, we've got a CK luminous one, we've got a Klein conduit puller, and then this own brand fish tape. So yeah, if I ever need to pull cables through conduit or whatever, pull cables up plasterboard walls, this will be the drawer that I come to. And then we've got the Super Rod Gecko, which is for going above plasterboard ceilings, floors and stuff like that. That should have a lid there, and like that. And then the cable ferret, which everyone's probably aware of, absolutely brilliant lifesaver at the time. So yeah, that drawer is what I've got in there. So close that one. The nice thing about these drawers is they close and they click as well, so they're not just going to flop around. So yeah, next one, uni lights. So I've got loads of uni lights, including more which are not in this tray, but I thought I'd try and store quite a few because they were in a little organiser, not an organiser but a tray in the van, and they used to fly out and stuff, so I wanted them in a position where they were going to stay together. So I've got a bag full of chargers because every uni light seems to have a different charge lead, and then we've got loads of different ones. So SL1000, SL1750, one of the sight lights, another sight light, and then down the side we've got one of the inspection lights, and all the chargers. So as I say, I have got more uni lights to what I've got in this, but I thought I'd put these in here, so if I bring all this out and bring it out onto site, I've got my trays and my drawers with me, and ultimately I've got all these lights with me. So yeah, that just shuts like that. And then the last drawer in this free drawer, obviously these unclip using this little lever here, so you can take these two drawers off of this free drawer by doing that, but I'm going to leave them attached for the purpose of this video. But in the third and final drawer of this free one, we've got miscellaneous tools, and that is various different tools which I do use on occasions but not all the time. Stuff like files if I'm doing any metal munching, triangles, stubby screwdrivers, got some spare sharpies down there, and then I've got a lot of other tools which, to be honest, I bought but I don't always use that much, and the little Christmas sets as well from Weir. So this little Christmas set with some socket set in them and some hex bits and stuff like that. So yeah, various different miscellaneous tools which I don't use all the time. Some new marksmans, so when I run out, and some new standard blades, and then Weir screwdriver, turbo driver, and bits and pieces. So I'm not going to go through absolutely everything. Whisker set, various different, you know, little bit set. Some Weir Joker set, which was this year's Christmas gift from Weir in a calendar. Yeah, so lots of bits and pieces. This little Klein set's nice, I like this. So let me put you there, put you there. So yeah, that's quite a nice Klein driver set. Again, I saw this mic residual, I think, had this. So yeah, it was quite cheap on Amazon. I think they're not making this anymore, so decided to buy one while I can, but can't remember what that is. That's a Weir set. And I'd say this one is the, I think I bought this set because it's got all the different cupboard keys and stuff like that, but also I bought the turbo driver, which people don't rate but saves your wrists sometimes. So yeah, so I've got all different sort of bits and pieces in there. This one's labelled up as miscellaneous tools because it's not always something that I use, but that's that drawer. So yeah, we'll close that one up. There we go. So a lot of these Milwaukee Packouts, so I've got tools in them or stuff that I use, you know, to actually complete a job. Not a lot of them have got materials in them, and the idea was that my materials pretty much stay on the van, so socket outlets, switches and stuff like that. I've got some other crates in the van, and they stay on the van, but this big 2-drawer, I did decide to get this for a reason, because for example, 20mm conduit. I had about 2 or 3 Fat Max organisers which was full of conduit, and so I decided to get this because I used to be back and forth to the van getting bits and pieces out of different trays and stuff like that. So I thought, if I've got everything I need in one drawer on an organiser, then I don't need to go back and forth. I can just carry this in, wheel it into an address, and it's there. So yeah, so the first drawer on this one is 20mm conduit, both black and white. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory really. Got a little Klein level which I use for metal, but obviously this is mainly plastic in here. Little brocket bits again which are used for doing up stuff. Another one there. So that goes in there. Got saddles, plastic saddles and stuff in white. We've got obviously couplers, male-female adapters into boxes, and then various different accessories for like 20mm. Very rarely do I use 25mm, so that's why I've only got 20mm. But if I ever did use 25, I'd obviously have to go and buy it, and then just stop-ins, fittings and stuff like that for white. In here we've got some metal stuff, some metal bits and pieces, and then some D-lines and stuff like that. And then again in here just 20mm black, lids, gaskets, a couple of bends, which I mean I try to do my own bends anyway, but I've got a couple of inspection bends if I need them, stop ends, T-junctions, couplers and bits and pieces, and then some, I don't know why that's doing in there because that's a stuffing gland, but yeah, some saddles and some clips and stuff like that. So yeah, I've got all my conduit bits in this one drawer, which to be honest works better for me rather than having 2 or 3 and stuff like that. If I need loads and loads of stuff, then obviously I'll buy additional materials and bring it along separately, but this can more often not do it. If I'm doing a small job in the shed, this can more often not do what I need, you know, have enough materials in there for me to do what I need to do. So yeah, that's a conduit drawer. And then the next one, which I always found that I was running back and forth to the van for, is these junction boxes. So I was forever, sorry about that, dodgy camera work, I was forever running back and forth to the van getting junction boxes out. So again, I thought if I have a drawer dedicated to junction boxes, perfect. So yeah, junction box drawer. So we've got various different whiskers in sizes. We've got the little coffin boxes, we've got the 308s, we've got a bigger one, and then we've just got some random boxes which I've had laying around in the past. But the main boxes I tend to use are the Hager ones. So that's a 4-terminal 20 amp. They do a 3-terminal 32 amp, and then for all lighting stuff, if I'm doing lights, I use these Hager 501s, 16 amp junction boxes, but they've got 4 terminals in these, so you've got your loop ins, loop outs, neutrals, switch lives and earths. So yeah, got a couple of Waygos ones as well, but that's about it really. So yeah, just a dedicated drawer for junction boxes, and that is that 2 sets of drawers. So yeah, we've got the 3 there: cable pulls, ferrets, uni lights, miscellaneous tools, conduit and junction boxes. So that one is all done, and now we'll move on to the final stack. So yeah, stay awake, not long now, it's not long. There we are, right, on to the final stack. So we've got this big deep one at the side which has got these nice long metal protected bars, very deep, and this came with the box with the wheels plus one of the drawers that I'm actually sitting on. So I won't show you that because you'll be in the middle of my crutch, which I'm sure you don't want to be. So yeah, anyway, back to the video. Unclip this one, unclip this one, and then let's get into it. So yeah, as you can see, lots of power tools. Got this tray full of bits, drill bits, and angle drill, SDS chisels. But yeah, because of the size of this, oops, sorry, but shut up. There we go, sorry about that. Because of the size of this, you know, I've got quite a lot in there. I've got a couple of stuff for the drills, but we've got a grinder, we've got a multi-tool, we've got a combi, we've got an impact, we've got my cable stapler, and then an SDS as well. So yeah, you can see that actually we can fit quite a lot of stuff in that. So yeah, it's just, this is a really heavy one, but to be perfectly honest with you, you've got everything in there you need for pretty much first fixing and second fixing as well. So there's no need for anything else for it to be brought in. So you bring that one tote in and you've literally got everything in there. So that is that. That is what it is. Power tools. But this is very heavy, so let's see if we can unclip this. Oh, we can. Let's lift the tote. That's the thing I like about this. It's got the nice big handle as well, which is nice and chunky, locks into position, and then you can just lift it like that and put it on there like that. So right, last set of trays, drawers even. So we'll start from the top and go down this time, but this is a free drawer, as you can see, and it's SWA stuff and laser is the laser level's first drawer. So in here we've got, again, if I'm doing a massive SWA run, then I'll probably buy additional cleats, but to be honest, I've got a few different size cleats in here which will get me out of trouble on most installs, really. Most EV jobs or whatever, I'm using normal cleats or power down to sort of people's outbuildings and stuff like that. There's enough cleats in here that I'll be able to you know, do the job. So, and then we've got never used this, but this backhoe thing, which is, I saw on Instagram. Loads of things go around on Instagram, don't you? And if you like tools like I do, you go, oh, I'll have one of them, that looks good, that looks good. And I've got loads of tools like that, but yeah, you end up not using them, so sometimes it's a waste of money. But if you're a tool lover, then it's great. But yeah, so not used that, but that's, I don't think it's really for SWA, but I've seen someone using it for SWA, so I bought one. The CK slice, which again is a bit Marmite for some people, but I quite like it, so that goes in there. And then in here we've got all different sort of SWA glands. I still use traditional glands. I don't tend to use the SWA ones, the storm glands, just because they're quite expensive, really, and they're meant to be brilliant and save time, but to be honest, I quite like the traditional SWA gland, so that's what I've got. So yeah, they live in there with that. Get in, there we go. And then right, we've got lasers. So we've got 4 lasers, which some people say, oh, that's overkill, you don't need 4 lasers, but to be honest, I've used all 4 on occasions and it's been an absolute dream, whereas trying to do it with 1 is a nightmare. So my first laser was a red DeWalt, which I've still got. It still works perfectly, no reason to get rid of it. Then I bought myself a green DeWalt, which again is perfect. And then again, I saw this on Instagram, but this is a little Hobar, I think Hobar you pronounce it. Let me undo it, bear with me. And that's that one. So it's only a cheapie, I think it's only about 50 quid, but it works alright. It's not great, but it works okay. So yeah. Let's do it back up, right. There we are. And then the latest one I bought is this little Sigmund, which is absolutely brilliant. Comes with a remote control. If you unlock it, as you see, 3 axis, absolutely great. This was about 130 quid off of Amazon. To be honest, it's really good. So so yeah. So in this drawer, obviously I've got all my lasers. So the idea of this this drawer is, or this drawer set, is that I've got everything I need for lasers, and then as we go down we've got hole saws and stuff like that, so it's for you know, downlights and stuff like that, measuring stuff out. So yeah, let's go into the next drawer. Right, so the next drawer is CU stuff and heat shrink heat gun. So again, if I'm doing a consumer unit, I'll probably just bring this drawer in. Again, SWA as well. Quite often use heat shrink and stuff, so everything in this drawer I put together for a reason. So in here, CU stuff, so we've got a band which probably was in the other one but didn't fit, and then we've got these little fire resistant grommets, which obviously blind grommets, which you put in the boards, and then pierce for your cables to come through. In here we've got loads of little metal blanks, bit of buzz bar, little protective caps for existing buzz bars. These couplers which I use if I'm pulling new towels through or new earths through cavities or walls or whatever. Yeah, and just a few bits and pieces. Some old fuse wire if I need it. So yeah, we've just got a bit odds and sods in there for consumer units. Again, we've got some meter seals and some crimps so we can reseal main fuses should we feel the need to remove a main fuse, which you normally do because there's no isolators, but that's another story. And then we've got loads of different colours, sizes, heat shrink and stuff like that for boards and SWAs and stuff like that. This was my first ever Brother label printer. This is the E110, which I've still got, still works absolutely fine, and still use it on quite a lot of occasions. I've got the bigger, was it 300 now, but I still use this, and I use this on boards and stuff like that, so I put that in there along with my heat gun with all the different heat gun attachments. So yeah, that's a little CU drawer and heat guns and stuff like that. So put all that together, so that's that drawer. And then the final drawer, again, as I say, I've got my laser levels in this top one, and this one is hole saws and dades. So if I'm doing a downlight job, I'll bring this lot in. I've got my laser levels ready, got my hole saws ready, and then yeah, so oh, there we go, my dade's getting stuck. But in here, again, I was carrying around so many different hole saws that I decided just to sort them out, and I had this little tray which is an old steeple tray, but I managed to put them all inside each other, and as you can see they all fit in one tray now. So a couple of arbors, which then obviously I've got pretty well 100mm and various different sizes, so I can carry all my hole saws in one little tray in the drawer. So in there, as I say, I've got my dade, lifesaver for dust and stuff in people's houses when doing downlights, and then I've got some cheapy little hole saws, a 15 or 18.5, 16mm and a 30mm, which as you can see have not been used, so but they're a couple of cheapies. And then I bought the I don't know how to pronounce this, is it Starret hole saw set, which as you can see I've used a 20mm a fair amount, 25 a little bit, and the 30 on the 32 on the odd occasion. But yeah, these are pucker, these are. So but yeah, that's what that drawer's for, hole saws and dades, so downlights really, and cutting holes through enclosures and stuff. But yeah, so that drawer set is basically lasers, hole saws, CUs and stuff like that. So for me, absolutely works a treat when I'm doing boards or downlights and stuff like that. So what I'll do is I'll lift this drawer off. Oh, I'll bring that out actually, I'll show you. So that's your travel straps, and then these drawers can now come open, and then we lift that up, which unclips it, so then we can just lift that up onto there, and then that one can just clip in. And then we're near the end, people, so don't worry. But this is the final crate, which is on wheels, as you can see. I did originally have my cable in this, but decided that actually this was at the bottom, so every time I wanted cable out I had to lift everything off, and that's the idea of Packout, is trying to do it so that you don't have to lift everything off to get to something at the bottom. So this has just got miscellaneous tools in it, and when I say miscellaneous tools, I've got all sorts. I've got, you know, drilling holes in walls, you can to plug your vacuum in it, got some filler, got some save plates if cables are shallow in joists and you don't want to drill any more holes. Got some existing DeWalt cable staplers, some new blades for, you know, all sorts of stuff, hacksaw, filling knives, some different, you know, fixings if I want to use different fixings. These are good, I like these. I use these when I'm doing kitchens, so when I put cable or cut a hole in the unit, I have a socket coming through, so they're really good. So yeah, in here is loads of bits and pieces that I don't use every day, but sometimes are handy to have on the van, but you don't want them flying around and rattling around. So yeah, that is that really. So we'll put that one back down, pull that one off, put him back down, and right, we will get you back on the tripod and say goodbye. So the reason I bought this pack out really is just purely because it's a great system. Manoeuvrability, flexibility you get with all the different types of organisers, etc, etc, but also some security as well. So now I can basically lift, not these because these are just full of fixings and stuff like that, but all the stuff with, you know, batteries, power tools, testing equipment, all that stuff that is expensive that you potentially used to leave on your van, I can now wheel off and just bring it in of an evening into my lockup like that, just wheel it around. Same with this, it's on wheels, so again the flexibility you have with the Milwaukee Packout system I think is second to none. So one of many reasons why I've actually gone out and got it, but yeah, I'm absolutely over the moon. Long time coming, and I've spent a lot of money on it, but yeah, I think it's going to serve me really well, and it's going to make me sort of even more organised to what I usually am anyway. So yeah, but if you like the video, please like, subscribe. I intend to do a lot more content obviously this year and try and grow my channel a bit more, and I'll certainly be doing a van tour and showing you how all this then fits in my van to show you how it works on a daily basis. So yeah, again, please like, subscribe, help me build the channel, and yeah, but for this one, thanks for tuning in. Hope it wasn't too boring for you, hear me droning on, but it's a bit weird when I watch it back and I hear my own voice, but yeah, it's just getting used to it, and yeah, hope it's been of interest. Hope you like the how I've done it. If you've got any questions, please put it in the comments and I'll try and get back to you as quickly as I can. But for now, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.